We just need to settle in a little bit.
Open three, that's good! It's a 20-point Atlanta lead. Oh my, it's Atlanta's night.
It was one of those nights. Somebody played with confidence.
We were super confident, man. That's what it's all about.
He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we
do? What they want.
Jalen, who is joining us later in the show?
Ja Morant, the Memphis Grizzlies superstar, is joining Jalen and Jacoby. Do not miss it.
We start the show with the Eastern Conference Finals. It was game 4 between the Bucks and the Hawks, and without Trae Young, Atlanta showed up and showed out, took a big early lead with Giannis on the floor. However, a turning point in the game and maybe the series, Jalen, was when Giannis went down. What do you think about this injury to his left knee?
So many major injuries to NBA All-Stars in this year's playoffs. 9 have missed games. That's an NBA record, Jacoby. And I'm not going to say it's because of the compressed 72-game season, because all injuries aren't created equal. A player like Kawhi Leonard had been load managing his knee, and he still got injured. Kyrie Irving landed on Giannis's foot. Now Giannis hyperextending his left knee. Now, when I first saw it, a 7-foot man who's extremely athletic landing with all of his weight on one part of his body, I was even surprised he was able to walk off. And the other thing is, I'm so very happy that his older brother's on the team. Like, trust me, for anybody that's ever gotten injured doing a sporting event, to have love close around you really matters. And I'm telling you, his brother barking in his ear, he really needed that right then. Now, of course, we can't necessarily speculate how long he's going to be out, but you don't land like that, Jacoby, and play in the next game. And so for me, I hope he's not out the entire playoff run. And again, I don't want to speculate how long I believe he's going to be out, but I'll just say, you don't land like that and play in the next game. So this is really unfortunate for Giannis, clearly, and I'm rooting for the best, and definitely for the Bucks and just the NBA overall, because we hope to get a champion where people aren't talking more about the people that are injured than the people that are playing.
I mean, Trae Young was already out, and then Giannis, as you mentioned, he landed so awkwardly, but it was encouraging. He got up and walked off on his own power, helped by his brother. And then remember, he came out of the tunnel and kind of came onto the bench and then went back in. So he's walking around. Hopefully that means that he can get back in the playoffs. However, we will learn more as we move forward. But one thing that we're going to talk about Giannis a lot and his injury, but let's not overlook what the Hawks did. Even with Giannis on the floor, no Trae Young, it was Kayvon Huerter. It was Bogdanovich and Cam Reddish and Lou Williams. Jalen, what do you think about this truly team effort from the Hawks to get this win?
I just like how Huerter has gotten adopted by the culture. That really makes me happy. Shout out to the ATL. You know how much I love Atlanta. Same with Bogey. I appreciate it so much. And my guy Lou Will, he trademarked lemon pepper for a reason. I was jealous that I wasn't in Atlanta after this game, Jacoby. I might have got a chance to rub elbows with Lou Will. And how about Clint Capella, like Larry Bird, over the backboard.
Over the backboard.
Come on now. When those type of shots are going in, you know what it made me do? It made me look on the sideline. You know what it made me want to do? Give Nate McMillan credit. He's the only coach remember, they started the season with Lloyd Pierce and had one of the worst records in their conference. They've now had one of the best records in the entire NBA, and yesterday they were doing it without Trae Young, who's been remarkable in these playoffs. 30-point games, high-scoring games, high-assist games, shooting from half court. They win a home game without him, and Giannis was on the floor in the first quarter. And you know how many points he had? 0. Giannis scored 0 points in the first quarter. And again, it's hard for me to get on him because I know he got injured, but I'm going to just cover the series like I anticipate he's coming back. And the other thing that worried me for the Bucks is the air balls by Giannis.
Oh, the free throws.
Jacoby. Now, you know a lot of things can happen during a basketball game. For me, the one unforgivable thing for any player, male, female, young, old, I don't care.
You hate air balls.
What age? You can't be shooting air balls from the free throw line.
You've always hated air balls,
You cannot
especially
be
from
doing
the free
that.
throw line.
At
And he
what
does it
age
over
does
and
that
over
stop?
again.
Help me. What age does that
10.
stop?
You're
Okay.
10. You get to double digits. You got to hit the rim.
Okay,
you got to hit
exactly.
the rim.
Exactly. And so, especially when they're counting down and everybody's anticipating. And he also shot an air ball from the three-point line. So that right there is psychological.
Absolutely
and so,
is.
before the injury, he already was dealing with something psychologically. So you know what this tells me? The Atlanta Hawks are in pole position to win this series.
Oh, really? Even with a pivotal Game 5 coming up in Milwaukee, you're saying that the Hawks are in pole position to win the series. And Jalen, one of the reasons I might agree with you, Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish has been out. DeAndre Hunter is out. Trae Young is out. But when Cam Reddish was on the floor, he wasn't just doing it defensively against Chris Middleton. He was doing it offensively, too. Middleton had a bad game, and a lot of his bad game had to do with the influence of Cam Reddish on this game.
And also when you're roster building, right? So you got the anchors. So you got a Capella, you got Collins. And so you got Gallo up front. And then you have Trae Young in the backcourt, right? And then you draft these two guys in the lottery, Reddish in particular, who return, and Hunter, to give you that defensive ability, that three-point shot-making ability to now play against some of the elite wings in the league. And so now you get him back to play against Middleton, and now all of a sudden I'm feeling like, again, this series is there for the Hawks to win, David Jacoby.
Yeah.
They're going to get Trae Young back. I anticipate at some point, and I hope this doesn't happen, that Giannis, if I'm in Giannis's camp, like Trae Young didn't play yesterday, he should not play in the next game. Even if he came to me with something like the skies open and he was running doing 360s, you still got to keep him out of the game because a large man landing on his knee like that, it's just going to be some swelling there. And so based on that, I believe Nate McMillan, and you know I've been riding with the Bucks. You know I've been riding with the Bucks.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I've consistently been riding with the Bucks and the Memphis Grizzlies because Ja Morant's joining us next. And I told you I was picking the field against the Nets and the Lakers. And so when I stand on the table about something, Jacoby, I'm telling you, I believe of all teams, the Atlanta Hawks, peace up, A-Town down.
Well,
Should make
this
the
series will
finals.
go to a pivotal Game 5. Neither team is facing elimination in this one. However, when you look at the Western Conference Finals, tonight's game between the Suns and the Clippers is interesting as well because while the Suns have a 3-2 lead, this looks like the Clippers had the best player on the floor in Paul George, who had a masterful performance to bring this to 3-2. And while the Clippers have their back against the wall, they are playing at home, and it does feel like they had the momentum in this series. What do you expect tonight in this one?
And by sticking to the injury theme, because it is a part of this year's narrative, they're playing without Kawhi Leonard. They're playing without Serge Ibaka. Zubac didn't play in the game either. So Paul George now gets a chance to do a reprise as a veteran player of what I saw as a young Indiana Pacer playing in the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron James. Now that confident player is in LA. Ty Lue and Chauncey Billups have done an amazing job of allowing their guards to flourish. You see Reggie Jackson and how he's performing. He's not only shooting threes and being clutch and confident, he out there bang, bang, Siegel Street on people. Come on now. And how about Terrence Mann? And so that guard play that the Clippers are getting, and I ain't gonna forget Patrick Beverly because his numbers ain't gonna be big, but his 6 or 8 points are gonna be loud because he's up in your face. He's clipping Chris Paul. He's edgy. He's jumping around. He's getting in Devin Booker's face. And so that guard play used to be what I was saying I loved about the Suns. You remember that? You remember that?
Jalen, do you know what
I was talking about CP3 and Booker and Cam
Of course,
Reddish?
Campaign is hurt.
The Clippers guard play has been dominant.
Here's what needs to happen. Devin Booker, look at my face, look at my nose. It's broken. It's been broken many, many, many times. Devin Booker, take the mask off, dog.
You've been consistent with that.
Listen, I am the senior broken nose analyst, not just at ESPN, but in the world. And Jalen, when it comes to an elimination game and a team that was up 3-1, CP3 did not want to hear about it. Let's look back at his reaction after Game 4 with Rachel Nichols.
You have done something no other team has done, which is go up on 3-1 on the Clippers in a playoff series.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about 3-1.
This
got a lot of good
postseason.
experiences with that.
Jalen, do you think there's extra pressure on this Suns team because of the potential 3-1 collapse?
I don't think it's extra pressure. However, I was in the gym during when the Clippers lost to the Houston Rockets and they had that 18, 19-point lead. And I know what Chris Paul is talking about and the anguish that he was referring to. But it'll be hard-pressed for me to believe that the Phoenix Suns will lose 3 out of 4 games and allow the Clippers to go on and advance in this series. But here's what they're going to have to do. The Phoenix Suns got to play tougher, dog.
Yep.
You just seen Boogie take the ball from CP3 and go coast to coast? I was like, is Boogie fast or is CP3 older? I didn't know what was happening. Did you see Paul George take CP, push him off, and be strong and make the 3? And so the Phoenix Suns got to absorb that contact and play stronger.
Well, we'll find out tonight at 9 o'clock on ESPN. And Jalen Rose joining us on the show just minutes from now is that man right there, Ja Morant, superstar for the Memphis Grizzlies, joins us on Jalen Jacoby right after this. Stay tuned.
Avoid them. It's sad to see, a lot of the stars in this league, go down, especially, in this playoffs and, late, making a run to the championship.
Ja, appreciate the love. Thanks for joining the show. And I saw you also make sure that you represented for Paul George, who it seems like takes a lot of crap from his critics for his lack of, lifting his team to the NBA Finals. What do you think about the shade that fans and media throw towards PG?
I just feel like, everybody just following, the leader. It's probably some people just saying something just to say. But as far as me, I'm a fan of Paul George. I feel like he's a special talent, one of the top players in this league. And I feel like, he's showing it, night in and night out, through this playoffs. I don't know where all the, negative energy comes from, but hopefully, he's just, just got tunnel vision and, focus on the most important thing.
Ja, your Memphis Grizzlies, in my mind, had a very successful season, one of the best league pass teams out there to check in on and watch. What do the Grizzlies need to add or change or develop to sort of get to that next step and be a contender?
I feel like, we're fine. We're just, one of the youngest team in the league. So, I feel like it was good for us, these past 2 years, kind of, get a taste of the playoffs. Just more experience, continuing to, gel together as one and continue to put in the work. I feel like we'll be fine. I feel like, the future is very bright for us.
Ja, one of the many things I like about your game is you play on schedule and your skill work and your drill work is like everybody else's that's elite in the league. But I appreciate how you also play off schedule where you'll jump in the air, throw it off the backboard, find somebody in the corner, try to dunk over a 7-footer. So where did that come from? Is it because you play a lot of street ball and you do a lot of organized basketball? Where did that come from?
I can say it's, kind of a mixture of both. Just, being where I'm from, we played a lot of pickup. So, it's just, kind of a mixture of both. And, also just, that fearless, mentality and mindset. And a lot of, credit goes to, my teammates and my coaches to, just allow me to, play freely and, play my game.
What can you tell us about your new project, Promised Land?
It's, a documentary about, me that goes into, deeper details and about my journey and, how I got this point and, tell more stuff about me that people don't know. Really, just going from, a small town kid to number 2 pick and to, winning Rookie of the Year.
Hey, Ja, I want to make sure I shout out your father, T. Morant, because it's somebody that never met his biological father. I appreciate the relationship you guys have. And one of the compliments I like to pay you, almost like Allen Iverson, I always say you sound older than you really are, more mature than people your age. Can you talk about how you were able to develop that trait?
It's really, just how my parents raised me. They felt like, they did a great job on raising, me and my sister and everybody else, who was, staying with us in the house whenever. They just taught us the right things, taught us to, always be respectful. And, most of the time, I was hanging around my dad, watching basketball and stuff, and it's him and his friends. So, I was kind of around, older people, my whole life. And I can give, credit to that too.
Congratulations on the successful season with the Grizzlies, and congratulations on this
going,
project,
Stay
Promised
healthy.
Land. We look forward to watching that. Thank you so much for joining us on Jalen and Jacoby.
Thank y'all.
We'll be back right after this with much more on Jalen and Jacoby. What did Dak have to say about this season? We'll tell you right after this.
Got to give the people